So before we talked about other things about accounting, we need to know about certain accounting definitions. And so there are three really basic and simple accounting terms that we need to know about. And the first one is called assets. And so assets, the definition of asset is basically the resources that is controlled by a business, which has to have values. And so there are some examples of assets, maybe cash would be the most common one, and then you have land or equipment, inventory, things like that will be an asset to a business. So it's things that the business owns that has values. And then the second term that we need to know about is liabilities. So liabilities, the definition of liabilities is basically the company's debt and then obligations. And so something basically is like for example, if a company borrows money from a bank, then that will be a liability for the company because the company has to pay the cash back to the bank. And so that is basically the definition of liability. And then the last one that we're going to talk about is stockholders equity. And so stockholders equity is the capital received from investor in exchange for stock. And so the most common thing about stockholders equity, one of them is common stock. And also another part of stockholders equity is also the retained earnings. And so the earnings basically the money that the company retained to keep within the company for further operations and investments. So that is the stockholder equity. And so these three terms comprise of the most basic accounting equation, which is So this equation is the most basic accounting equation, and we're gonna use this equation like all the time in the general recording ledger. And so it's assets equals liabilities plus stockholders equity, and so this two side has to always equal. And so everything, if you move something here, it has to move something here at the same time to make it balance. So this equation has to always balance. So this is the accounting equations that we need to know about. Something else that we need to learn is another equation. And so that is about retained earnings.